evaluation and recognition of qualifications in higher education of the Agency for Higher Education Development and Quality Assurance of universities, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our final conference. After 2 years of work, I'm happy to be here together, ready to share our ideas and to debate on how to advance the reform of higher education system in Bosnia and Herzegovina. The project accomplished during these 2 years to the highest possible extent its goals. If reporting in terms of figures, we had over 100 working meetings with our stakeholders. We have organized 11 working group sessions and 7 steering committee meetings, performing over 40 days of training, targeting more than 250 people from our main stakeholders. We also have produced guidelines for recognition of higher education qualifications and for university integration, together with our main stakeholders, together with our beneficiaries. In addition to this, a rich set of other documents with relevance for the higher education reform in Bosnia and Herzegovina has been developed. We have been involved. And in addition to this, we developed a lot of awareness-raising activities. This was the real core of our project and the engine for reaching the goals. Now, about thanks. If I have to address name by name, I think I should speak at least 10 minutes addressing only names. So for this reason, I would only address my European Union delegation, to Ms. Esma Hadžić, our chairwoman of the steering committee, for their permanent cooperation and support. In the end, a lot of warm thanks and gratitude to the whole team of. Now, because we are also running short in time, I would like to address the floor to Mr. Professor Mitar Novaković, President of Rectors Conference in Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Gospodinu Rinderu, naravno uvaženo predsjedništvo, dame i gospodo, poštovane kolege, svi se otprilike već prepoznajemo i znamo sa ovih naših projekata koji su vezani za reforme, a skoro svi, ja mislim, koji su realizovani kroz Tempus programe su upravo vezani za naše reforme i u smislu posticaja reformi. Ja sam pobornik da se stvari ne uopštavaju, da u reformama identifikujemo probleme i govorimo o konkretnim problemima, konkretnim univerzitetima i konkretnim pitanjima koja se tiču visokog obrazovanja. Puno toga ključnih problema. Ovog puta, naravno, sve vas pozdravljam, a onima koji su najviše radili na realizaciji ovog projekta i došli.
So finally, I got the privilege to speak at the second one after a minor misunderstanding. I'm representing the European Union here, being the head of operation sections for social development at the EU delegation. So basically this project that we are here now at the occasion of its finishing is one of the many projects that the European Union support in the area of education. We support the higher education, we support the primary and secondary education, as well as lifelong learning. As concerns this specific project, it was operating for 2 years, and we supported it in the amount of 1 million euros. Today you are going to see exactly what was achieved through this project. What I would like to say now in the beginning is that we are quite happy with it, even if we did not completely reach what we were planning, because also as the progress report that was published last week on the progress of the Bosnia and Herzegovina towards the EU membership and EU accession says that the state-level strategies on higher education and recognition of diploma, as well as framework laws, still needs to be adopted and implemented. Basically, in the past years, we have seen some progress in the institutional development. The agencies that are responsible for the quality assurance, accreditation, and recognition of qualifications in higher education have been established, but there is still a long way to go. In the meantime, we have witnessed long-awaited process as concerned the integration of universities in this country, and we hope that also the activities of this project has contributed to the overall process in Bosnia and Herzegovina. So actually, what did we do? We organized a training on the Lisbon Recognition Convention for the relevant stakeholders, that means universities. Still, further efforts are needed in order to ensure the proper implementation of the Lisbon Convention here. Unfortunately, an attempt to draft a framework law within this project that would aim at regulating this area has not produced the desired outcome based on the political circumstances. That's why we decided to go for the option B, basically to produce the guidelines for assessment and recognition of higher education, foreign higher education qualification, the ones that you had a chance to see outside. That still, of course, needs to be approved and implemented, but still this is the main result in this area as concerns the recognition of qualification. Why is it so important? We all know the students from abroad who are coming to Bosnia and Herzegovina basically face the difficulties as concerns the recognition of their diploma, as well as by the authorities, but also by the potential employers. The same goes for the recognition of diplomas from one part of the country in another part of the country. The European Union is trying through this tool to increase the employment in Bosnia and Herzegovina and to improve the free movement of labor. The European Union has defined our own education objectives for the next 10 years in the document called Strategy 2020, basically the strategy to achieve by year 2020. There are many objectives as concern education, such as that by this year the school dropout rate should fall down under 6%. Basically only 6% of students maximum should drop out during the high school. Another objective is that at least 30% of the persons should receive the higher education. So between 30 and 34 years old people, they should be educated at the university, 30% of them. Bosnia and Herzegovina is also invited to join this strategy called 2020. And that's why the European Union supports these kinds of education projects in order to help Bosnia to achieve that. In the context of the EU integration, the authorities of Bosnia and Herzegovina have ratified agreements on bringing education in this country up to the standards that are anywhere else in Europe. And now what we need to do is to achieve the implementation of these agreements. The European Union is going to continue in supporting the education also under IPA 2011. Maybe you've seen in the past weeks that the agreement on the IPA, that means pre-accession assistance, on 2011 year was reached. That means that also the projects for education that were planned under this IPA are going to be implemented. I would also like to use this opportunity to invite you to join us and help us with the Tempus Info Day that is planned for the end of November, when a new call for proposal will be launched. The Tempus funds are always open to good project proposals. We are supporting them every year, basically each year, 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, each year with the amount of 2.4 million euros. In the end, I'd like to thank you very much for participation in this project and wish you a good conference.
Thank you. I do apologize for reversing the order of speakers, but this is the best proof that I have a lot of emotions with this final conference. Sorry again.
Ministarstva civilnih poslova, novog ministra gospodina Srđanovića i posebice sektora za obrazovanje unutar ministarstva. Na kraju smo još jednog projekta finansiranog iz IPA sredstava, apliciranog od strane Ministarstva civilnih poslova i nadležnih ministarstava obrazovanja u Bosni i Hercegovini, koji je trebao da u stvari poluči dvije grupe rezultata unutar dva bloka pitanja kojima se bavio. Jedan blok je trebao da odgovori na obaveze Bosne i Hercegovine u implementaciji Lisabonske konvencije, odnosno konvencije o priznavanju diploma i perioda studiranja koju je Bosna i Hercegovina, kao što znate, ratificirao 2003. godine. Drugi blok pitanja se ticao daljih procesa u integraciji naših univerziteta, a na temeljima naravno standarda, preporuka i hard i soft acquisa Evropske unije. Formalno je obavezi nego kao srčano je obavezi da se nešto uradi jednoj zemlji, prijateljskoj, susjednoj, kakva je Bosna.
But until now, the first part was conceived in such a manner to address the floor to our main stakeholders. We will start with Professor Vitar Novakovic. If no